Yes, so they give me a chance to pick out my coconut. They tell me anything, you understand? My coconut bearing trees, so right? This is what they're doing here. Right? General Earth Removers Limited. Right? Well, I can see this is our garden here, right? Right? Here's where they're pushing on here. There's a tractor reducing here. There's my house in the back there. Right? It's my young Papa Hill. Government ministers didn't come and see anything. LSA didn't come and make mention to me. They walk down. They come by my house. When I was asking them what going on, they said they will get back onto me. They never get back onto me. Right? And the other could see. Right?
This is water wasting in Maracas Gardens, Maracas, St. Joseph. People without water, and this is what is wasting months now.
Yeah.
This is water wasting in Maracas Gardens, Maracas, St. Joseph. People without water, and this is what is wasting months now.
There is state resistance.
You see it?
And state pushback.
Ah.
And they know that.
Every road to be built in this country has to be built by the government. Because in this country, for the last generation or two, we've grown up under government. Well, you better begin to be weaned off the government, because the government's shoulder cannot carry the burden anymore.
Warned you all about the Rowley government acquiring the Israeli software Pegasus program to hack into citizens' WhatsApp communications and other communications. Tonight I can confirm that government did in fact acquire this software, and they have been illegally spying on citizens, various social media platforms, WhatsApps, emails, and so on. A whistleblower has provided me with information regarding this widespread electronic spying. I've also been provided with names of persons who have been spied upon. However, we have been alerting persons privately because of safety concerns. The list of persons being spied on include members of the media, reporters and editors, members of the judiciary, senior judiciary and magistrates, state agencies spying on their own board appointees, trade unions, members of government, yes, they are spying on their own MPs and senators, and of course, they must be spying on the opposition. We know that. It's not the first time. Also being illegally monitored are members of the business community, from the chambers of commerce, lawyers associated both with the UNC and the PNM, and of course persons in other political parties. They are also accessing the media, the emails and text messages for these persons and storing it.
Yes, so they give me a chance to pick out my coconut. They tell me anything, you understand? My coconut bearing trees, so right? This is what they're doing here. Right? General Earth Removers Limited. Right? Well, I can see this is our garden here, right? Right? Here's where they're pushing on here. There's a tractor reducing here. There's my house in the back there. Right? On there. Young Papa Hill, government ministers in come and see anything, LSA in come and make mention to me, they walk down, they come by my house. When I was asking them what going on, they say they'll get back onto me. They never get back onto me. Right? And the other could see. Right?
Foster comments. What is happening with state lands in this country? Last Monday, I raised with you matters involving land grabbing. I had asked several questions in relation to Minister Foster Cummins and a piece of land in Exchange, Couva. Foster Cummins, a director and shareholder of a company known as Pegasus Services Limited. Tonight, I wish to remind you of the questions I asked last Monday. Are there any vehicles belonging to Pegasus Services Limited parked up on this piece of state land? Is Pegasus Services Limited the owner or tenant of that piece of state land? Who currently occupies and manages the building owned by Caroni 1975 Limited, which is on that piece of state land? Does Pegasus Services Limited have any interest in the land and the building? Again, Foster, do you know anything about this? Now I received what this photograph shows is a black Range Rover PDS 12. PDS 12. Black Range Rover. PDS 12. Foster, is that your Range Rover? Is that the one you use and come to Parliament every time we have Parliament? Tell us, is that your vehicle? And why is it parked up behind that wall on that compound? Tell us why. Do you own the land? Are you a tenant of that land? These are state lands. What were you doing parked up on that compound? What's the vehicle doing there? What is it doing on that compound? Tonight I call again for answers on what business does Pegasus Services and Foster Cummins have with that piece of land belonging to Caroni at Exchange in Kufa.
Today I want to shed and share some information with you that when the information is revealed, I think I can say for myself, the general public and those who are interested and the families themselves will be shocked to find out what I'm about to reveal to you today. So I want to go straight to the screen that is in front of you, and you can follow as I go along. The first document that I have before you is the registration of death in relation to Kazim Ali Jr. And this is a government document. And the reason why I'm producing these documents will become clear as we go along. So this is the registration of death. And what I want to pay attention to is if you look at the second line of that document, you will see that it says the date of death. And bear in mind that this incident took place on the 25th of February 2022. The registration of death says that the date of death was the 28th of February 2022. That is Monday, the 28th of February. We all know now, or if you don't know, you will know that the bodies of these deceased persons, these 4 persons, were recovered on Monday, the 28th of February 2022. So I've highlighted to you on this document, as you can see in the circle, that I want to just go down slowly and you will see that this document is signed by the district registrar on the 4th of March 2022, and you will see the signature there of the person who is signaling from the government side
Welcome
that
to
the
douglAR
death
Radio. We start a little bit later as it is the most auspicious spiritual month of Ramadan. So as we break the fast, we must all together feel the vibe, feel the spirituality, feel the cleansing, feel the love and the presence of Allah. So we start a little later now in the month of Ramadan with all respect. So good evening and welcome to douglAR Radio. Yes, do not change your dial. It's not Marsha's voice has gotten deep and hoarse and loud. It's not the beautiful voice of Marsha Riley. Unfortunately, due to programming changes with the TNT Speaks on Thursday, the douglAR, y'all were buffing the douglAR because the douglAR was not really putting himself on the radio. Yes. He was allowing others to do a fantastic job, but I got enough buff. So the douglAR Radio staff, Vishnu, Archie, the management, Alan, Karim, and so on, instructed me that I could not continue to disappoint the listeners because I was supposed to be on Thursdays. But UNC TNT Speaks and Kamuto Manzanilla was fantastic last night. Dr. Rai Ragbir, well done to you and your counselors and the United National Congress. A brilliant program with counselors, members of parliament, the chief whip, former Senator Obika. Brilliant presentations across the board. Well done, Dr. Rai Ragbir. I want to say a special thank you to Marsha Riley, Fire Fridays, the UNC woman showing power, intelligence, brilliance, and if you look at her on the camera, also beauty, because beauty with a purpose, beauty with brain, beauty with leadership, intelligence, passion, and patriotism. As soon as there's another shift, Marsha will get a time slot back. But for now, you're stuck with the douglAR on the Friday because the Thursday is for TNT Speaks. Yes. So good evening and welcome to douglAR Radio. Share the live, spread the news because it have plenty thing to talk about. If you're driving in your car, don't mash your ex. If you're going downhill, just cruise, just roll, let it roll. We'll deal with that shortly. Elections have consequences, my people. We will deal with that shortly. Then y'all will understand that these little games that we play in politics must cease. It must stop. But before that, let me deal with a very serious, critical issue, which gives you a clear view, like a microscope, into the heart and soul of the PNM. When you play with children, when you embarrass children, when you try through subterfuge to hold one child up and put down another, and you start with your friends and family, and you involve children, their self-esteem, their happiness. There can be nothing worse than that. All of you out there agree with me. PNM, UNC, independent. You must agree with that. You must not put your adult negativity, your adult qualms, your adult weaknesses onto children. The People's National Movement, for the first time in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, has embarrassed the best of the best, the brightest of the bright, the most deserving children in the SEA examination. Imagine the PNM shenanigans have caused children to get involved with lawyers and fighting for what is due, that they work hard for, a celebration that should be respected, applauded by everyone, because of the PNM's inability to follow policy, to follow process, and to leave the children in peace. Let me start at the most dastardly point, because a lot of y'all would have heard and read story. This SEA child was in 2020, October, this child was told she's the best, and then all of a sudden, last week, she get a letter to say she comes second, and then the minister of bundles, the minister of nothing, the minister who built no school, the minister of a collapsing education system, the minister who is overseeing the most indiscipline in our schools in history. We seen videos of our school children fighting as if they're in Ukraine, fighting Russia, with weapons, without weapons, handcuff, gang fight, in the roads, in the school, parents involved. We have never been so embarrassed across every nook and cranny of Trinidad and Tobago. Our school system has collapsed. And I did not even talk about the collapse during COVID-19, where 46,780 children never went online. 2,000 that went online disappeared. And 36,460 never got any device to go online. The others did not even have internet to go online. Others were playing the fool and ducking classes, watching all sorts of different things. It was a total fiasco. BBC reported us as having the longest shutdown of the school system in the world. We're number one in the world in shutting down school. This minister of bundles, Minister Gadsby Dolly, who finds time to create couture in a cabinet, to have man beating up man and arguing with man and fighting man inside the cabinet, you know. Ask Rowley and Foster Cummings what I talking about. This lady have so much time on her hand. If she not by the hairdresser changing bundles, she by Foster or by Rowley and causing couture in a cabinet that done her focus and done don't have brain and done don't have creativity. And now this minister of bundles comes to tell you, the people, well, this is unfortunate. A public servant in the ministry broke the normal policy and sent out letters to discuss president's medal awards and so on. Let me cut the nonsense immediately. Minister Gadsby Dolly, you might think the whole country as dotish as you, but let me tell my good people something. No public servant could change a president medal. The only people or person who could communicate something to the president with regards to any policy of the government is the cabinet. Do you all hear me? Only the president will only take correspondence from the prime minister as the head of the cabinet to determine who gets what. Do you all understand what I'm saying? So if Corky is to get president's gold, the recommendation would have been put in a cabinet note from the public officials, approved by the minister, because a cabinet note cannot reach the cabinet without the minister's signature. The draft cabinet note will come to the minister in a grey file. The minister will read through the cabinet note, make any changes, see what she likes or what she doesn't like, grammatical errors, punctuation, request more information and so on. She will then write in the file, PS, reviewed, edited, put the date, sign the minute sheet on the file, close the file goes to the permanent secretary. The permanent secretary says receive, file, sign, sees what the minister's comments were and so on, makes all the corrections that the minister wanted, puts the final cabinet note in a red file. That beautiful, pristine red file comes to the minister, reads through the file. In this case, the minister sees that this young lady, I'm not even going to call children name because I'm really so embarrassed. This young lady finished first by policy, and we recommend to Her Excellency the President that this child be given the President's Medal Gold. This child finished second out of 19,562 children, and the cabinet recommends to the president that this child gets President Medal Silver and President Medal Bronze, whatever you're doing. The cabinet then goes through and says, Minister, yes, make your case. The minister presents the note and says, right, cabinet says, approved. The next week, before the cabinet meeting, you have a brown leather folder, only with pink pieces of paper, very thin, flimsy paper. And each minute sheet is a confirmation of the decisions taken the week before. And so the Prime Minister opens his now, Kamala, when she was there, her folder, and she says, cabinet note, minute, bam, 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 names it out. What say all of you? Confirmed. If anybody have any problem, they discuss it there, and discussion could start back there again. When it's up confirmed, the Prime Minister puts their signature on the minute sheet, the initials. Next one. When that is confirmed, in this case, the Cabinet Secretariat would take that pink sheet and send off or draft a letter from the Prime Minister as the head of the Cabinet to Her Excellency the President, in order for the President to put things in place for President's Medal Gold, Silver, Bronze. No public servant cannot communicate with the President. So, Madam Minister Bundles, don't come here and tell me it was unfortunate. Oh my goodness. Let me read what this lady saying. It was unfortunate. So a public servant, a senior public servant, when the marks were redone, they broke the policy and they issued letter. They could issue what they want to the principal of the school. Here's the problem, Bundles. They cannot make the president change anything. So if it was just a public servant, my people, the president house would have still had the original approved names, because the president don't communicate with no low-level public servant. What I'm going to do? Your Excellency, I am a AO4. I am recommending you give President Silver and Gold. All your mother, all you feel it is a parlor. All you feel Trinidad and Tobago, the Republic, is a parlor, Minister Bundles. Who you trying to fool with that stupidity? To come and say that the blunder was because of some public servant? Who did what? Who did where? Who did how? When Tim Gopi Singh had to come with the top 100 or whatever number after his ministry went through, Tim Gopi Singh had to bring a cabinet note to cabinet with all the names. And cabinet, well, we ain't going to discuss or see or check and see who really should be on the list and thing. But we have to approve it. And then it goes forward. And then Kamala Prasad, the Cessor, and Tim Gopi Singh, the Minister of Education, and the Member of Parliament for wherever the child come from, will go to the school and give a shake hand. And media will be invited to see who come first. It don't happen with no public servant writing the president. All you're going mad or what? PNM, all you could lie so much and the media just write. Let me read it now. Senior official blamed. In a media release providing clarity on the issue, I've just showed you all that they provided no clarity, okay? The Ministry of Education sought to lay the blame on an unnamed senior official for the awards invitation faux pas. Education Minister Dr. Nyan Gadsby Dolly, aka Bundles, aka Time on Her Hands, aka Cousin Couture in the cabinet, Gadsby Dolly described the matter as most unfortunate and apologized for the distress caused to both pupils. The ministry noted that the practice of and they went through the practice, right? The ministry emphasized, however, that it was the right of any parent to query the child's exam, right? It said those reviewed results are typically received 2 months after. Exactly. This policy has been followed. The executive of the Ministry of Education therefore views it as extremely unfortunate that a senior official of the ministry exceeded the authority of their remit by varying the SCA placement list based on reviewed results of some students without reference to or approval from the executive. That's where I have a problem, Gadsby Dolly. You have to explain to the country. You have to explain to me. You have to explain to the entire country how a public servant communicated with the president's house. You see? All you like to play games. This is not no thing, but no you write no letter to no principal. This is an award that was set for Monday, and President's house was set to change the award from the girl that had the gold. She was now going to get silver at President's house. The person giving the award is Her Excellency the President. What all they was saying then, that when they reach their Monday, Bacchanal would be happening in the President's house, because the President could not have been informed by any public servant to change anything from gold to silver. So the President would have had the correct, normal documentation through the cabinet, signed by the Prime Minister, confirmed by the cabinet, of the normal gold medal. And then people would have come there, and when they call the gold medal, 2 children would have jumped up and rushed the president in front of the media. Is that what you're is that what you're trying to tell me, Gadsby Dolly? Me think your bundles too tight, my lady. Me thinks your bundles soak in your brain. So let's try again, bundles. Impossible. Impossible, mi amor. No está posible. You understand what I say? It's not possible what you are saying. So Gadsby Dolly come to tell all you, lying through the space in she teeth, that is some public servant who didn't say tell the executive. So it's not even the permanent secretary. It's not the deputy permanent secretary. Some public servant change an award to be given out by Her Excellency the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. All you tell me another thing, boy. If all you have something to sell, if I in Alaska, sell me some ice. I need ice for my rum and soda in Alaska during winter. Let me buy ice. I listen to everybody talk, you know. All kind of people talk on this issue. Everybody, all kind of radio talk show hosts trying to play PNM thing and trying to shimmy me. And everybody missed the point, you know. I have just made the point for you. Gadsby Dolly, I put it to you that you lie. Because, Gadsby Dolly, the executive of the Ministry of Education therefore views it as extremely unfortunate that a senior official of the ministry exceeded the authority of their remit by varying the SCA placement list based on reviewed results of some students without reference to or approval of the executive. Further to this variation, the official proceeded to inform the parents and schools of their eligibility for awards according to the unapproved listing, which resulted in consternation. But there is a problem. That lower level human being could notify who the hell he or she want. Principal, yes. Teacher, parent. Very good. Could write what they want from downstairs there. The problem you have, Gadsby Dolly, is this. The student was informed that the parents were informed that the daughter would be awarded the President's Medal Silver for placing second in the examination. The award ceremony is to take place on Monday at President's House. Say that louder, they cocky.
I say, what?
Say it louder, cocky.
What?
That's where your story needs a lot more people, Gadsby Dolly. Because award ceremony at President's House does only happen in one specific way. The Cabinet of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago approves whatever award recommended, signed off on, confirmed, and signed by the Prime Minister of the Republic and sent by letter to Her Excellency the President. Her Excellency the President does not take correspondence from any low-level ministry official. These people mad, you know. So, Gadsby Dolly, you have to explain to the country how the award ceremony is to take place on Monday at President's House. And the girl who was first, who was to receive the President's Medal Gold, was all of a sudden going to receive a President Medal Silver from Paula May Weeks. How Paula May Weeks know that? How Paula May Weeks know it changed? How Paula May Weeks move it from gold to silver? How Paula May Weeks know? It's not like no merit list where Rowley went and shoo in she ears. Minister Bundles, the country wants to know if your story that you told us is true. How did President's House, the capital of protocol, change an awards list without receiving correspondence from the Prime Minister or the Cabinet of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago? Because the President does not receive correspondence to act upon on the award of presidential medals, national awards, and so on. The President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago does not take instruction from a low-level public servant. There is no method of communication so to do. There is no ability for the people who receive mail from President's House to even put that letter on her desk for her to read. Okay. So in the award ceremony, how, Minister Bundles, was the change made at President's House?
I want to know.
Because the award ceremony Monday, if the lawyers didn't intervene, if the lawyers stayed quiet, if the girl parents say, well, no big thing, girl, we love you, you're first, second, we don't care, you did brilliant, you're Naparima, you're top in your class, you're well on your way, we love you anyway, we didn't care whether you come first, second, or fifth, we proud of the effort you put in, we proud of your discipline, we proud of all that you do.
Yes.
Go and tell them to knock that from a place, cocky.
Yes,
like
sir.
them hard, you know. Them really serious? And Mr. Balu, if you're listening, could you tell them people by MCTV to have some respect now? You have shows going on simultaneously. There's big kya like it's some fet. Like if them drinking rum inside there. Them really serious? Let me tell you something. Anyway, I'm asking Minister Bundles, how was the president going to change the award? Because the president, back in October, right, when the results were made and the ministry went through their initial preliminary results, the Minister of Education at that time, 2020, which was Minister Bundles, because Garcia and Lovell Francis were booted out unceremoniously, and yet they stayed quiet. They didn't go, they lost their work, they lost their position, they lost their ministry portfolio, but they didn't go and try and form another party or break down or so, you know. But they were kicked out, both of them, and replaced by Minister Bundles because of her closeness to Rowley, not because of her competence, clearly, because she's probably the worst minister. She's worse than Garcia. And Garcia, we were happy if he stay awake. But she's worse. So back then, my people, the ministry would have put together the results based on preliminary results coming out from 19,500 children. They would have put a cabinet note together, gone through the process like I said. The Minister of Education would have vetted the draft cabinet note, sent recommendations, made edits, received the final cabinet note in a red file, read through it, signed the cabinet note, signed the minute sheet as saying approved PS, put the date. Then the PS will take that red file and other red files if they had more than one cabinet note going to cabinet that week, and send it to the cabinet secretariat, who would then open it, check it, vet it, and put it on the cabinet agenda for the Thursday. You all understand the process?
Yes.
So that note back in October would have been vetted and approved and confirmed the following week by the Cabinet of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And then the Prime Minister, through the Cabinet Secretariat or the Office of the Prime Minister, a letter would have been done to Her Excellency the President, signed by the Prime Minister himself, noting to the President that this was approved by Cabinet and asking the President to arrange the awards at President's house. Understand? Okay. That's October, November 2020. Flash forward now. May know why it takes so long, but whatever. Flash forward to 2022, April. And we see that the parents of this child, who for 2 years nearly moved on and thought that she was the best, she didn't ask to be the best. She didn't think that she was the best. She was told by ministry officials, by letter, that she was the best. They come now to tell her, through her parents, the award ceremony is coming up, but you are not gold, you are silver. But this is not gold and silver at a national swimming championship or a national track and field or a Sagicor junior track and field or a table tennis competition. This is the President's Medal. President's Medal gold, President's Medal silver. Therefore, for this to have been going through, the President would have had to be informed of the changes. And for the President to have been informed of the changes from gold to silver, only a cabinet note, duly approved by the cabinet and conveyed to the President by the Prime Minister, could have sufficed to make any change to any award to be handed out by Her Excellency the President. So don't tell me that some low-level member of the staff and the ministry decided to cat spraddle the whole process and you're embarrassed. You lie. I put it to you, Bundles, you lie. Because what you are saying is that if the parents did not fuss, as I did not fuss when my big daughter, I was Minister of Sport back in 2012, and the Tennis Federation picked a national team to represent Trinidad and Tobago in under 14 tennis. And my daughter Rebecca, who's big now, beat everybody in the whole of Trinidad and Tobago at least 2 or 3 times, whether it's RBC tournament, Sagicor tournament in St. Augustine, Lease Operators, Tranquility, whatever. She played a 3-match set against the girl from Tobago, a girl who was 13, nearly 14, and she was 12. And she won the third set, 15-13, right? The match that them little babies play took an hour and 49 minutes in the hot sun. When they picked the national team, they picked 4 girls that my daughter had beaten all 4 at least 3 times each. What did I do? I see Minister Sport, eh? I went to my daughter. She was upset. I said, listen, they have made their selection. Clearly, for whatever reason, they are wrong because you have beaten everybody and you deserve to wear your red, white, and black.
Yes.
However, your daddy is a minister of sport. And I am not going to intervene or say anything at any time because of the position that I hold. And no matter how right I am, it does not look good.
Yes.
So you will know that that's one tournament, no big thing. You played well, you had a great year, you should be on the team, you'll make it next time. You'll go to Disney World with your mother in August. Okay, as planned. You know, 3 weeks before the tournament, somebody pull out and then the president of tennis called me. Minister, well, somebody pull off the national team and your daughter is now picked. I say, excuse me, my daughter gone Disney World. You have a good day. And I hung up the phone. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I like that, yeah.
Now, if the parents were like me like that, and when you tell them they get the correspondence,
Yeah.
and they say silver, they say no big thing. We didn't expect gold, silver. We really don't care. That don't change the price of cheese.
Right.
We are proud of our daughter, and
Yes.
she's brilliant and so on. And we'll talk to her, and yeah, she might be a little upset, but no big thing. That's thing life. That's a good life lesson. Yeah. If they had done that, you are saying to me, Bundles, that when they went to President's house, the president would not have known of the change? So the president would have called out the same girl as gold medal, and the new one who was supposed to get should not even be there because the name was never there.
Yeah.
So how the person even reaching into president's house? You can't reach it. Only Berkey can reach president's house under PNM without thing. Berkey walked through the whole security and take picture with Rowley and the president. Berkey was the best. But to go in president's house, you have to be invited. You have to check. They tell you where to park. You have to park perfect. You understand?
Yeah.
You have to do all of that. So what you are saying, Minister Bundles, is that this person, the new student who got something changed, which is okay. They made a mistake and they corrected it, but the policy, which is a good policy, is you move on the preliminary results and you don't adapt or change anything because it's children and you're announcing things and that's it. It's a fair policy and it has existed forever. This is the first time we've seen something. What you are trying to tell me, Bundles, is that that boy would not have been given access to president's house because the president would not have known because he's a low-level public servant who did the error.
Yeah.
And not the minister, and not the cabinet, and not the government. So some low-level public servant is able to communicate directly with president's house and change awards that the president is going to hand out. You have to sell we something else because we're not buying that Bundles. You lie. What you think when you have national award, Shakonia Gold, Order of Merit of Trinidad and Tobago, Shakonia Silver for gallantry, for this, for public service, for business, for whatever. Who you feel that is? You feel some low-level person at some ministry could write the president's house and say, get cocky? And cocky put on suit and bow tie and gonna get one? No. The committee, whichever ministry, sometimes under the office of the prime minister, wherever the committee is, They receive applications. They go through their thing. They go to the line minister and present a report.
Yes.
The line minister then writes to the permanent secretary and says, this, please do a cabinet note. And you go through the cabinet note process. So all the awardees who receive national awards, whatever level, that goes through the cabinet. And the president house only acts upon a signed letter with the cabinet note and the confirmation pink slip signed by the Prime Minister of the Republic. Nobody else. Not even another minister. And you trying to tell me, Minister Bundles, this fiasco was caused by some low-level public service person? Minister Bundles, you lie. Tell the people the truth. You have embarrassed children. You have brought a simple thing into disrepute. Children and the parents have to go through this stress for an exam that is already stressful. 218-7762. We'll take some calls even though we are at the top of the hour.
Yes.
And then if all you're driving, drive slow. Eh? Don't mash gas.
What?
Don't mash gas, Corky. 218-7762. 218-7762.
Yes.
Don't mash gas. If you're going downhill, coast. You understand?
Might run out of the gas.
That gas you have there is very precious. You have diamonds in your gas tank now under the PNM. Elections have consequences. 218-7762. I want to hear what you all think. Do you all now understand what is the truth and what is the process? Do you all now understand that what Minister Gadsby Dolly said cannot be true?
Yeah.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, the Mr. Honorable douglAR Anil Roberts. This is Sada Roti Tomato Choka and Sahina.
How are you, my brother?
I hear this crap, the SCA awards thing just now meritless. They're no longer going to have it because, as you rightly say, somebody telling the untruth. But you know, it reminds me of two persons. The president and a lady named Joan Hughes. You understand?
Yes.
Because they pulled back the list.
Correct.
The president, and they're trying to put somebody.
But do you understand? You are a man a wrong tongue. You understand the process that I just told you?
Yeah,
Do you agree with what I have said, or have I fabricated?
I agree 100%. I've been commenting on that all day. Why are they continuing to mash up the education system? You had Rupert Van Winkle before, and you rightly say, yeah, I have a bundle of hairdresser now, interfering with the education system. They no longer want to base education on meritocracy.
Exactly.
They want to put in who they want. Remember, John, you had a
scholarship fund. Lizama leasing get 500 and something thousand and fail.
I mean, they say, how can we move on with a society when you don't have no meritocracy involved?
Exactly.
In everything. You have a healthcare system.
Look this fella, the Nobrega say he is the biggest dunce to pass through Fatima. He said by himself, I would be the worst, the last person to be a minister, and look I reach. And he's a PNM. That man admit, you know.
Well, the legacy of Patrick Manning still in play. A level head.
We'll take some more calls and we'll come back. But don't drive your car harder. Save your gas. 218-7762. I hope you all understood the process that I told you. I don't know. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Roberts.
Good evening. How are you?
Mr. Roberts, this is Bang Village.
What's happening?
This program, this station, was always my station. You understand? And when I sit and see what's happening, I have to come out and say something. Because the education system in this country, everything you say there is in a nutshell. What you say, you come like a preach. And I hope that Almighty God gives strength to continue the fight. The PNM have never yet contribute or do anything for education. They always try to bring down for children. You want to cast for children and call them hyenas. You understand? Look how they're getting on. You understand? So the parents don't care. So what you doing from 2020? 2020, you bring up this thing to now. You understand? I want to tell Gaspy Dolly, that's your name? The lady with all
Bundles.
the hairstyle.
Yeah, bundles.
Yeah, the lady with all the hairstyle. You understand? Taking taxpayers' money. You understand? And all the hairstyle. Doing nothing for the benefit of the children and the schooling. What you're trying to do is frustrating for children. And you become an animal. I want to make them done. I want to tell you something, my friend. The people in this country have to wake up, smell the coffee, because if you leave this administration, my friend, they will mash up everything. As Manning said, when the Manning gets away, what's happened? He doesn't have mash up thing. You understand? He's not pelty cup and thing, you know. So what about I wake up? Understand? So I come out to the station now, and I will always share my view, my brother. I thank you,
my brother. Well said. 218-7762. 218-7762. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Just one question. I don't know, I've heard the UNC address the issue. But is there a policy to rectify this subsidy issue with the gas prices and so on?
I'm going to deal with that just now. I'm going to deal with that in detail, my brother. So you hold straight there. I'm going to give you it down in a nutshell. You go to the head of the class, my brother. Because remember this, elections have consequences. That's why you must vote on policy and not about who look like what. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Roberts. I'll just comment. You know, these people who work in the ministry, they're not, especially in the education ministry, it's not that they're putting the wrong people in there. They are winging it. They have no idea what they're doing. And all through the ministries, every single ministry, they're not following protocols. They have no idea. They disregard rules, laws. They don't care about it. They just do it because they have the power. That is a terrible thing, eh? They could just do it. They could snatch things away and give it to you the next day, or snatch something from you to then give it to somebody else the next week. There's no accountability. And what they're doing intentionally is cleaning up the countries of all the guns because they are scared of an uprising. They really are. They're terrified of it. And it could easily happen here.
All right, thank you very much. 218-7762. 218-7762. So, Madam Minister Bundles, your story not making sense. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Anil. It's nice to hear your voice on a Friday.
Hey, how you going, girl? You have water in Kelly Village?
No water.
Nanga, take some of your money, your 5 million you get from PNM in brief, Nanga, and give Kelly Village water now. How are you, my lady?
No water at all. I plan to wash today, and when I open my tap.
Only air.
Right. Yeah. No water. I don't know
worry.
What's going
They
on.
say if you blow on your clothes, it does get clean too, the PNM say.
Well, maybe them clothes get clean.
Look your boy Cocky D.
Cocky D?
Hi.
How you going?
I can't
well,
go
you
nowhere.
have to send some water for me, Cocky D.
Well, you are getting water, but now me again, my car.
Oh, God. My lady, we go talk later. I come in to talk that gas thing. Cocky. Cocky. The douglAR one, you know.
Yes.
Cocky, you as a man was just playing your music, relaxing yourself, taking care of your 5 daughters. And the douglAR come and fill your head with information early o'clock. And you're seeing it come to pass, eh? But we got to deal with that just now, Cocky. Oh, Lord, Cocky. Cocky, when you roll out there, don't mash the gas, you know. Don't mash the gas. 218-7762.
What's going on, boy?
The story need more people because it's a president's medal to be awarded at President's House by the President of the Republic. And no public servant, especially not one below the executive, as Bundles tried to tell all you, could communicate with Her Excellency the President and instruct the President to change any award that was authorized and approved by the cabinet and sent to the president by the prime minister's signature. All you have to be mad. Who are you trying to fool with that nonsense, Gatsby Dolly? Why you lying? Don't tell me somebody, you know, somebody friend thing, you know. Don't tell me that, you know, Gatsby. Because what you gonna lie for? What you gonna humbug people, children for? I mean, all you humbug the whole country. But we would believe all you gonna leave children alone. 218-7762. So you see, that's where the story falls apart. It falls apart on process, on protocol, on procedure. Hello.
Good night to the panel.
Good night.
About raise the gas because they have to pay for 300. What's up for money pay for Trinity Mall? That's why we're getting the gas.
Oh Lord, we ain't know about that. You don't call here no rumor talk. You have to get facts. Hello.
Anil, good night.
Good night.
Anil, you couldn't be wrong. This is an all over thing with John Williams. It goes back to John Williams, as one of the callers said. Anil. Anil, tell me a minister in the government who tells the truth. You have Rod, you will come every day and tell you a lie. You have the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Housing, the Minister of Agriculture. Who tells the truth in the government? God, Lord help us.
Have a good evening. You asking me some hard question, bye. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. Good evening.
Mr. Roberts, the procedure you talked about just now with respect to communicating with the president happens with a real president, not this president. So don't blame bundles too much. You don't know
I like that, but she's communicate wrong with only the prime minister, though, the high public official. She ain't gone down to the ground to take letter from public servant. You understand? So you see, that's no joke. This one is a serious thing, bundles. They call an express conference, send an express statement, and explain to the country how the president's house was changing the names, how the new name was reaching president's house, how they was getting through the gate, where they was going to park, where they was going to sit down, how they was going to get an award, how the president do a letter and sign it for them. Tell me all of that, my lady. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you going?
Good.
Man, you see what's going on here? This is just the proof that shows how corrupt the PNM have corrupted our public services and all our enterprises, the state enterprises. This is what has been going on, and I'm sure you can talk from your life sport what happened in the public service that made a mess of our program that you had going. You agree?
Well, I have not seen any mess, but if there was a mess, then they would have been public servants, correct? Because there was a structure. So I have not, if there is a mess, let the police find the mess. But you are correct. They will not find any mess at the level of the minister, or they will not find any mess at the direction and the policy that created life sport. If there is any mess, it is public servants doing just like any hamper giveaway or food card or HDC house paperwork and land just like that. If there is any. So if they find anything, that's where it will be. However, they crash a program that could take guns off the street, put people from stopping them from doing crime, killing each other, and getting proper jobs at welding, NESC, MIC, electrician, mason, this kind of thing.
Exactly. They saw an opportunity where to remove something that they knew that would have brought PNM supporters
to the UNC. That's what, yes. They saw Indian and African uniting, and them don't like that.
That's exactly why they destroyed it.
Correct.
And this is the same thing that they're coming here with to incite some form of racism.
Correct.
Because we have a situation where an award was already made.
Yes.
And the public servants now put in some couture in this whole deal.
All right. But the problem with the story is the public servant does not have the ability to do the full couture, because the couture requires the cabinet and requires the prime minister, because the president does not take instruction from any low-level public servant.
That's correct. That's exactly how they do this.
Correct.
And they get the media to take it and run with it.
And run with that stupidity because it makes no sense. Yes.
Because the media today, look at the two newspapers, the two major newspapers, flashed it in large.
Yes.
But they never mentioned or gave any acknowledgement to that second student. They should have at least recognized the second guy.
Correct.
Because they are children.
They're all children, and this was unnecessary and ridiculous.
Correct. We have to give them accolades. Why they couldn't give the two of them if you have some doubt? Give the two of them an award.
There should not have been any doubt, because let me tell you something. I'll tell you as you're off the air. My older brother, turn down that volume on that thing here, the phone, right? My older brother, when he did his A-levels, he did literature. And when they came back with the initial grade, they gave him a C. Okay, you put it louder, boy, cocky.
Somebody interfered.
Yeah. They gave him a C. All right, I'm going to answer the phone, and just whoever on the line, just hold, let me finish this story, right? Just hold the line there, because I don't know why that phone ringing so loud as if it's in somebody's house. My older brother got his 2 A's and a C. As soon as he got the C, the principal at the time of Fatima College and the dean of Form 6 immediately said, but this could never be correct. They paid the whatever it was, £170, and they requested a remark of the paper, because the work that he had done, not only in the 2 years of Form 6, but since Form 1, the teacher and the principal knew that there are no way he gained a C in any literature paper. The awards for scholarships were given out within the preliminary results, and he did not get a scholarship. However, he had taken what is called Oxbridge, which is an exam for those who would like to go to Oxford. And globally, everybody take it, and whoever get in, get in. He had gotten into Oxford already before sitting his A-levels, or before the A-level results came out. So my father, who was of means as an attorney, paid for him to go to Oxford. When the remark came back, however long after, 2 months after or whatever, it came back with a 2-page apology from the examiners and the examination board of GCE, stating that this was the greatest literature paper they had ever read in their cumulative 60 years of marking exams between the 3 examiners who did the remark. He got an A and then jumped up onto the scholarship, but he could not get it. Already went, and back then it was actually a blessing in disguise, because when you got certain scholarships back then, you had to go UE. You could not go outside. You understand? Back in 1985 or whenever that was. So it turned out to be a blessing, because he got the scholarship after, right? But the preliminary results other people got. They did not take away from those who got. They just gave him also. You understand? But that's bigger, more adult things. But the policy for this SEA thing, which makes sense, it's a brilliant policy, is that on the preliminary results, the awards or the recognition is given. If some teachers or principals have a query, like in the case of my brother, and there are marks to be changed, that does not change any of the rankings on the preliminary result, because the little children you're dealing with, and it's not their fault. You can't tell a child, just so, the child didn't ask all you, that you come first, and they celebrate, and they eat pizza, and they take ice cream, and they go for coconut water, and they go down on the beach, and the whole family come, and they say our prayers, and then you come to tell them what? That you come second? Don't be ridiculous. Who in the Lord's name will do that? And I am putting it to you that the cabinet or the PNM did that. Because the story cannot be that any low-level public servant could change any award at President's house. It cannot happen. It's impossible. Only the cabinet, only the prime minister, only communication from the cabinet could change anything. The president don't take no instruction from no public servant. So the story is a total fallacy. Total nonsense. 2-1. Oh Lord, sorry caller. Hello.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Oh Lord,
Good afternoon, Mr.
I
Roberts.
humbly apologize, my brother. Sorry.
No.
Please
I was
forgive me.
listening attentively to your contribution. Well, good afternoon, Mr. Roberts. Good afternoon, Corky. Good afternoon to all the listeners. I want to take you back to 2015, when a similar situation would have arisen. In 2015, there was a young lady who had passed 21 CSEC subjects in one sitting.
What?
21 in one shot.
What? You serious?
I'm serious. You could Google it. The young lady's name is Arti Ramrup. She attended a government secondary school, Northeastern College in Sangre Grande.
21 years old?
I'm telling you,
That
Google
girl
it, you'll see for yourself.
she have brain to learn.
Right, now hear what went on. She was denied the President's Medal because the then Minister of Education, Mr. Garcia, indicated that she did not do a foreign language. Now, listen carefully to this.
What? She do 21 subjects, but she ain't do a foreign language, so he say qualify?
Right, so listen to this. The person who got it, I think, received about 9 subjects also. But the point I am making, and which I made to the then President Kamuna and everybody else, was that if we have the most brilliant, the most gifted child who has a speech impediment and cannot do the oral component of a foreign language, would that child be discriminated against because you have a speech impediment?
Good question.
Something must be seriously wrong with these people's reasoning. Not only that, Dr. Gopi Singh, who was the minister before, came out publicly and said there is no such policy in the Ministry of Education that a foreign language must be part of the subjects listed in order to receive that award.
Wow.
And this is really sad. This is really sad.
But the
And I'm
PNM
telling you-
always does that kind of nonsense, eh? I don't know why. It's just so sickening, especially for somebody like me who grew up in sport. If you win, you win. I'd shake your hand. I could go inside and cry in the change room and train harder and come back and beat you next time. But if you win, you win.
Yeah, exactly. And what was even worse was that the then Minister of Education attempted to defend that discrimination policy that you must do a foreign language. So what we need to appreciate here is that the policies of the ministry apparently is done by VAPs. In many instances by VAPs, because all the correspondence that was sent to the ministry, well, I could access it to you any one of these days. So you would see for yourself what went on. Dr. Gopi Singh stepped forward and indicated there is no such policy in the Ministry of
But the policy
Education.
don't make sense. Thank you, my brother. And let me give you our next story. Corky, when I stopped doing law and I had a battle with my mother, because when we growing up, all we know was that the only profession we have is law. My mother is a lawyer, my father is a lawyer.
Right.
My older brother is a lawyer. My younger brother is a lawyer. My sister is a lawyer. And my son is a lawyer next few months, right? I started doing law. You know who was my lecturer? Paula May Weeks on constitutional law. But I was coaching same time, and I realized my heart was in the coaching and thing. So I had an ongoing battle with my mother. She wanted to watch me like I'm mad. Coach had no money in it. Coach is a hobby kind of thing. Eventually she realized I make up my mind, so she said, well, you have to get the highest qualification, whatever it is in the world, and you have to take this to a whole new level, which I did. Got level 5 senior World Swim Coach Association, level 5 senior American Swim Coaches Association, level 3 NCCP Canada, and so on. Right? We make Olympic finals, come 5th, World Championship finals, 5th twice, World Championship finals, 4th and 7th. And then eventually we get a bronze medal in the Olympics and 2 bronze medals in World Championships later on.
Yes.
But around 2008, 2007, 2008, I was on radio with Sprangalang. And our show went top of the hill, best ratings in history, right?
Yes.
On a Friday, Sprangalang, myself and Christopher Sion got 28% market share and we beat We FM 96.1 on a Friday between 4:20 and 7. Okay? That's why I have all these people now on music station, all of them talking as if them is talk show hosts, right? It was because of Sprangalang and myself with Christopher Sion. But then I was dealing with all sorts of issues and something hit me and said, boy, you have to make yourself smarter. You have to improve yourself. You have to study some more. You have to do something.
Yeah.
So I went and signed up for my master's out of Edinburgh School of Business, Heriot Watt University, out of SBCS, right? But it's a foreign master's. You could do it part-time. So that time I coaching, right? I coaching 4 hours per day. On radio 3 hours per day. I had a show called Spork on Gael. That's an hour and a half, but it used to take like 8 hours per week to prepare, to do it, to research it and so on, to do an hour and a half on a Sunday. And I was writing 2 columns in the newspaper.
Yes.
And also had a little restaurant that was now opening up, right? But I say, I'm going and do my master's. So I gone in my short pants and my jersey to sign up and thing. And the principal was there at the office of SBCS. And in that master's, you had to take 9 modules to complete it. But if you want a specialism, you have to take 11 subjects, right?
Right.
And you're doing it part-time because you're working. So when I see that and I say, well, 11, and they say, well, most people take 1 or 2 modules per term, which is like a 6 months. So you only have exam in June and December.
Right.
Right? I start to calculate, well, if I do 2, and I do 2 in June, and then 2 in December, so 4 in 1 year, to do 11, that will take me nearly 3 years if I go without any problem.
Yeah.
I say, boy, me 3 whole years and thing. I say, look, I go in and sign up for 4 one time. The principal watched me. She said, Spork, you're mad. You working, I listen to you on the radio. You don't have time to. How you going to do 4 subjects one time?
Yeah.
I said, listen, my lady. I know myself. I have to hit this thing hard, fast, and lick it up. If it linger it too long, I go just air bother. She talked to me for about 20 minutes. I said, nah, go in. Well, I hit the thing 4-4-3 like football. I finished in 18 months.
Yeah.
Right? All of them eye open up big. Right? Because normally you're part-time, people take 2.5, 3, 4 years to finish.
Right.
I finish in 18 months. I go in fishing, I get a call cocky. Graduation is bam. We want to congratulate you for being the valedictorian of the master's class for Heriot Watt University, Edinburgh School of Business. Well, boy, I say thank you. Wow. I drink an next rum. I say, boy, I tell my children thing. Next day, I get a call. Mr. Roberts, we made a slight error. It's not that you are selected as the valedictorian. You were shortlisted the last 3, but we selected somebody else. I said, no big thing. I said, all right, man, blessings. Yeah. I dress up and I gone in the graduation ceremony center of excellence. So this ceremony have about 7 different universities, all graduate. If you see people, about 800 people. So some do undergraduate at University of Sunderland, some do LLB, some do masters, some do science degree, some do BSc, some do whatever, right? At different universities. But there's one big graduation.
Right.
And each class, so it have about 7 university, right? 7 programs then. And each class have a valedictorian. So the valedictorian of each class getting up to talk. Hear this speech. Each one of the 7, I would like to thank the government for GATE, because without GATE, I would not have been able to complete this. The next one come up. Well, I worked hard and I want to thank the government for the GATE funding program, because without the GATE funding, I would not have been able to achieve my success. The third one come up. I would like to thank the government for the GATE funding, because the GATE funding, without that, I would not have been able to be so successful. And they go 1 to 7, everybody. You now see why they tell me ain't get that? Because remember that PNM like manning and them know. They had no way. I reading out any speech, them right for me to go and play lick K-Pax for GATE funding, you know. So them, somebody like the boss man must say, but all these mad people, all they don't listen to that man on the radio with Sprang Along and Chris, how he does be jamming the PNM because they this and they that. All you're going to make he valedictorian for him to go and talk and make a speech, and we ain't get no funding. Boy, they pull back that. You understand? Yeah. No big thing as a big man, right? Yeah. I take that, but I understand that. No big thing. But you talking about little children, and all you playing PNM playing wickedness with little children. Yeah. Let we take a little break, Cocky.
Yes.
And when we come back, Cocky,
yes.
Oh Lord, we're gonna put water in your gas tank. We have to stretch the gas. We have to do yoga with gas. All your elections have consequences. All your vote for PNM, they take away all your subsidy. They make you pay for gas so them could recuse themselves. We coming back. Stay right there.
Right there, don't touch it.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in. Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
It's time to make your community better than before. Join yours truly, Kieran Joseph Samaru, on Your Community. We'll be discussing the important issues with the important people in the place most important to you, your community. Join us every Tuesday at 9 p.m. right here on MCTV as we know and make your community better than before.
In this month, close to 2 billion Muslims worldwide observe Ramadan, their most holy and beloved month, yet most difficult. 30 days of fasting from food and drink and praying build mental fortitude and closeness to Allah. There is a lesson in their sacrifice, discipline, and faith, a motivation to us all to be resilient and look forward to a brighter day. Just as the hunger of Ramadan ends with the joys of Eid, it is our prayer that the power of this holy month inspire humanity to awaken, to remember God, and to make this world a better place. Ramadan Mubarak to our Islamic community and our nation from your Royal Castle.
Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Join me, Anthony Schultz, on Late Nights with Schultz, only on MCTV. New guests every week, activity, games, hot topics, a lot of discussions. You don't want to miss it. Tune in and join me only on MCTV, 9 p.m. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Calling every human.
Sport is in trouble. What can be done to save sports in TNT? Join host Gordon Pear on Sports Insight every Monday and Wednesday on MCTV from 4:30 p.m. as he identifies the problems, look for solutions, and points the way forward. Sports Insight, where we talk to the coaches, athletes, administrators, and of course, you the fans, as we bring positive change through sport.
Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
The local Palooza show and countdown. Now showing on MCTV. Hosted by TNT's rock ambassador, Bees High Five, the metal merchant. See and hear all your favorite local rock bands. Keep it rock alive. Rhythms Communications Network. Local Palooza show and countdown on MCTV. The local Palooza show and countdown. Now showing on MCTV.
Hi, this is Michael Ruplal, attorney at law. I'm inviting you to join me every Thursday at 5 p.m. on MCTV for the Social Contract. It's a new show where we will be discussing bills that are being debated in Parliament, topical legal issues and recent decisions of our courts, and where we'll be giving general legal advice on issues that affect you, the public. I encourage all of you to continue looking at MCTV, bringing you back to where you belong.
Greeted in the wonderful name of Jesus. My name is Bishop Kelvin Khan from Endurance Ministry International. Our new location is in Railway Road, Londonville. You can tune into 97.5 every Sunday morning from 6 a.m. till 8. Tell your nanny and your nana, your chachi, your chacha, your grandpa, your grandma. We need to pray for our nation. God bless you. Thank you.
To this pollution. Oh, oh, oh. Got to find a solution to this pollution.
Yes. The poor man, you see, don't study. You study Rowley about who black and who eat banana and who Indian and who nonsense. Well, let's study that stupidity. Cause black man, Indian, douglAR, Chinese, Syrian, everybody gas gone up.
Yes.
Price gone up. And when that gas gone up, everything else gone up. So egg price, food price went up 15%. Now gas gone up, everything gone up. Why? Because everything has to be transported. Your medicine has to be transported in trucks to your pharmacy. Your goods, your groceries have to be transported in trucks to the groceries. Your farm goods, your vegetables have to be transported to market. They have.
Yes.
How do you transport it? With fuel. So when fuel price gone up, all people suffer. And all you vote for calm, play tune, boy.
The poor man I feel, let's go.
What all you want the douglAR tell all you? The douglAR tell all you that lady, that Indian lady called Kamala, that Indian lady, them a come to she on 4 occasions. Me a be a minister, me a hear them come to she. Them a come to Kamala and them say the gas subsidy must go, it too expensive. You need to put the money where you and the cabinet could allocate and spend the money. And Kamala, I tell them, my people are benefit from that subsidy. Baby in belly, old people in geriatric home, Whether you have car or you don't have car, you take maxi or you take bus, me people are benefit. Leave the people them subsidy, but all you vote for Rowley, so?
Oh my gosh.
The poor man I feel, the poor man feel, I know. Only him feel, yeah.
One solution.
The solution is Kamala Prasad Visesa and the United National Congress, because them a keep thing down, them a keep price down, them a keep subsidy day, them a create job, 55,000 job, them a keep petrol train open, them a produce fuel, them a create foreign direct investment, them a create reserve, them a create import cover, them not borrow to 100% GDP, them a improve GDP. 2014 them a cash in the bank, them a move on smooth road, them a put agriculture, create agriculture access. So the solution, there is only one solution, Corky. Vote out Rowley, vote out the No, I tell all you. Me try to warn all you. Well, all you listen to tune because all you not listen to the douglAR.
There's to find a solution to this pollution. Oh, gotta find a solution to this pollution. The poor man I feel, the poor man I feel, yeah.
UNC.
The poor man I feel, let's go out.
Bring back UNC now.
The poor man feel.
Put me inside.
The poor man. The poor man a black man. The poor man a Indian man. The poor man a Trinbagonian man. The gas station no say who a vote PNM pay little. Them a say everybody pay more. The man a tell all you, me a take away the subsidy. Me a take it away once. Me a take it away twice. Me take it away a third time.
Yes.
And they not riot yet. So I coming back again to take it away. Now it all gone. And gas gone up.
Gotta find a solution to this pollution. Only the poor man I feel, yeah. The poor man I feel, oh, the poor man feel, I know. Only him feel, yeah.
Can't take it no more.
Corky, I'm very sorry. Line up Lord Shorty Day because whenever the PNM are wrong, whenever the PNM are wrong, that is their policy. Fool you, divide the country, play games, gerrymander the boundaries, make it so that the whole map yellow but PNM somehow win, and then get in there and friend, financiers and family benefit while people suffer. It was the way before Lord Shorty became Rash Shorty I, and it is so now. When Kamala Prasad Visesa presents you with policies, with programs to improve your life, when she redistributes the resources to you, the poor people, whether black, Indian, mixed, douglAR, across the board, you let the PNM lie on she, say she corrupt, say them Indian thief. Really? If them Indian thief and they spend the same amount as PNM and everything was working and your children was benefiting and gas subsidy remain and jobs created and more gate, more sport funding, more culture funding, more rewards for Calypsonian, better roads, more school, highway bill, MIT Center, NESC Center, Tobago get benefits, Sea Bridge running. Who thief? Rowley spend more than Kamala, nothing working. Who thief? Play tune, shorty.
It's fine to a bed in the hospital. Yeah. And we can't hear a word from Health Minister Kamal. Whoa. Black dirty water we have to drink. Was I say it clean but it smelling stink. And my friend, the body, money ain't no problem. My friend, the shouting, money ain't
PNM is the problem. Yes, PNM is the problem.
You can't even use your phone to dial a prayer. Yeah. All the phones in a mess and it's like nobody care. Whoa. You can't even call the Prime Minister. He got the phones in the Gulf of Paria. My friend, you're shouting, money ain't no problem.
PNM is the problem. Yes, boy. PNM is the problem. PNM from start to finish is the problem. Get them out!
The AG started a drive to stop corruption. Yeah. All them wheeling and dealing big shots was in confusion. Whoa. They threatened to kill, but they keep on still. Suddenly stop, they pass a bill. My friend, they ball it, money ain't no problem. My friend, don't doubt me, money ain't no problem. Whoa.
What's the problem?
Yeah.
PNM is the problem.
All them politicians today, they just full of smoke. Whoa. Only making foolish mistakes and calling it joke. Yeah. So much of people on the streets today, and we can't build a home for them to stay. And my friend, they're balling, money ain't no problem. Hey, my friend, don't doubt me, money ain't no problem.
We have to get rid of this problem.
This is Caribbean Vibes.
It's very serious.
Our roads are the worst in the Caribbean.
You hear that? Rowley? Rohan?
Traffic jams you have ever seen.
Now end up in one.
When it rains, for the spelling pain.
What? After 30 minutes flood?
Yes, boy.
PNM is the problem. PNM is the problem.
Public transport in this wealthy country so bad.
And it worse now.
Trying to get home on evenings could drive you mad.
You could go mad and you could dead too now.
If you see buses park up by South Key and 3/4 ain't walking properly.
7 mates are walking properly. Rain falling inside the bus. And bus fare going up too.
Come on, people.
Millions of dollars going down the drain.
Going in rental by Al Rawi and Johnny Sukaran.
The airline in a mess and they buying wide body plane.
They buy bigger plane that crash and then come and bring it for you.
People saying that this country bright, so much money and still nothing right.
And everything falling apart, Barrett Jack, they tell all you so, all you get vexed. Is it true?
Money ain't no problem. Yeah, I tell you, the Archbishop say people in Trinidad to pray. That is why we catching so much hell today.
And the devil come out in a fancy suit and pretend to pray in spiritual Baptist day.
Church regularly, but they conscious only of money. And my friend, they ball it. Money ain't no problem. Well then, tell me, what's the problem?
So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, I tried to warn you all. I tried to tell you inside the Senate, outside the Senate, Monday virtual, douglAR radio, douglAR politics, Kamala warn you, Dave Tanko warn you, David Lee warn you, Jerlene John warn you, Wade Mark warn you, Damian Lyda warn you, the UNC warn you. They told you and they explained to you. Let me tell you it in a nutshell, because you know I like to break it down for you. The gas subsidy is the benefit of being Trinidadian and Tobagonian. Now you must be of one or other philosophies. Kamla Prasad Bisesa holds firm to the belief that, as the preamble of the Constitution states, that the resources of the country must be so distributed for the widest majority of the people to benefit. Kamla Prasad Bisesa believes in that. Kamla Prasad Bisesa demonstrated that through her policies. 1. Leaving the gas subsidy. 2. Laptops for all. Didn't you all find it strange that the PNM government, who took away laptops for all SEA students, when the best student is recognized, do you know what they are gifted? A laptop. So the PNM decided that only the best of the best must have a laptop. But Kamla said, all my SEA children deserve and must get a laptop. Yes. Do you see the difference in the philosophy? Kamla Prasad Bisesa believes in her heart that each and every citizen owns a little bit of the resources of the country. So that you own a little bit of gas. You own a little bit of oil. Your children own a little bit of gas and a little bit of oil and a little bit of the soil that grow the cocoa that we're so proud of. Kamla believes that. Why do I tell you that? Because I am saying to you that the same people who work the economics, the numbers, they are economists, they are financial experts, they are sociologists, they are professionals in education and political science. A prime minister must be an economist, a financial person, a sociologist, an educator, and a political scientist, all in one. Must be. Because the economists and the finance experts do not take into consideration the benefits of the people, the benefits of the people. They do not believe in social safety nets. They do not believe in the distribution of resources to the people. They do not believe in elements that cannot be quantified in a financial manner. A prime minister has to understand that. A prime minister has to take into account the effect on crime of an increase across the board of every product on top of inflation because of the increase in fuel price. The prime minister has to factor in the pain and suffering of victims of crime, the pain, the stress, the worry of parents as their children go out in society. So the Prime Minister cannot simply make a financial decision. Now what Keith Christopher Rowley, as opposed to Kamala, believes, Keith Christopher Rowley's philosophy is that he is the Prime Minister. The money that you pay as taxes is his to spend. He has demonstrated this by his running of a cabinet for 6.5 years, where there have been over 300 recusals of ministers. Ministers renting their own buildings, ministers' wives getting contracts, ministers benefiting from business decisions, including the Prime Minister himself. Now, why is this very important? You see, the distribution of scarce resources by two different philosophies leads to two different results. On the one hand, the philosophy of Keith Rowley that he is in charge, he must control all of the money, he puts his friends, family members, and brethren from 40, 50 years in charge of all the billions of dollars that you spend. Noel Garcia, Newman George, A.A. Kwamina, go across the board. Very close confidence of Rowley's, because he must know and control every dollar spent of your money. That's his philosophy. So his philosophy will not include a fuel subsidy. He cannot control a fuel subsidy. The benefits of this fuel subsidy go to all 1.4 million people here, and even the 200,000 illegal immigrants. Them and all benefit. So Rowley does not control that. He cannot direct that spend. He cannot put that spend in a place where his friends and family and financiers can benefit, because that benefits you, the people. So when they take away your subsidy, let's say it's $2 billion or $3 billion annually, they take that away from you, and you have to pay more for gas, you have to drive less, you have to pay more for everything from market goods, medicine, groceries. That $3 billion a year comes into a pool of money that Rowley can now spend. They can now write up cabinet notes and recuse themselves, step out to drink coffee, and award their friends and family more of that money, because they did not have to share the food with you. The food now come on Rowley table. That's what it is. It is a redistribution of scarce resources away from you, the people, to Rowley and his recusal cabinet. That is the decision that has been made. They tried to let Kamala make that decision. I was in the meeting when she was instructed by these finance people on 4 separate occasions over 4 years. Madam Prime Minister, this subsidy is wasting too much resources, and your government can direct funding that is saved from the subsidy. You will be able to direct where you want in housing, roads, hospitals, contracts, whatever you want. You will have more control, they told Kamala. Kamala Prasad Bisesa looked at them, and she asked them one simple question each of the 4 years. She said, do you people believe that the resources of Trinidad and Tobago, i.e., the oil and gas that we are blessed with, do you believe that each and every little baby, every citizen who is born here owns a little piece of that? They would say, She said, I do not stutter. I've asked you a very clear, simple question. What do you believe? Do you believe that each and every citizen owns a little piece of those resources, or do you not believe that? They said, ma'am, well, we are just telling you where you could put the money. She said, well, you're not answering my question, so I will answer it for you. And Kamala Prasad Bisesa looked at all of those economists, financial people, permanent secretary, Ministry of Finance, and she said, I believe that each and every citizen owns a little bit of the oil and gas that Trinidad and Tobago is blessed with. And therefore, in my opinion, the fuel subsidy is the fairest, most equitable distribution of those resources to each and every one, whether you own a car or not. Because if you own a car, you benefit. If you don't, you benefit because maxi price down, bus price down. If you don't own a car and you don't travel in maxi or whatever, you walk to the grocery. When you go to the grocery, food prices will stay down. If you go for medicine, medicine will stay down. If you want to build a home and buy sand and gravel and bricks and mortar and steel and electrical fittings and plumbing, the prices will stay down. So every citizen, whether baby in belly or elder, benefits from that fuel subsidy. So I am going to leave it right there as is. We will find other ways. We will create different revenue streams. We will diversify the economy. We will move into agro-processing. We will move into sport tourism. We will move into tourism. We will create growth zones and economic zones and trade zones. We will go downstream in the energy sector. That's what Kamla Prasad-Bissessa said. Because she knew the pain that you would feel if they dare remove that fuel subsidy. But you voted because a man who hates black people tell you he is black. But he skins and grins with people who are pink. All of those who are benefiting are not black. The ones who are in control and taking away your subsidy, not black. The Dwayne is not black. But he tell you don't vote Indian, vote black for pain, black for cough, black for poverty, vote black for disintegration of the nation. That's what he told you. And many of you bought that nonsense from an Oreo, a double stuffed Oreo. And now the pain is real. I tried to warn y'all. And don't get tied up, some of you saying, well, it gone up $1. So if you fill your tank for 200, you feel it gone up to 201? No. It's each liter. So if you just put 50 liters, you're putting gone up by $50 every time you go and squeeze. And if you squeeze twice a week, that's $100. And if you're squeezing that's $400 a month. And if you're that's $4,800 a year that you just lost. And if you squeeze more, well, God bless you. You lost more. The more you squeeze, the more you lost. That's what you voted for. Elections have consequences. So to my brother who asked the question, I've just answered your question. Kamla Prasad-Bissessa left the fuel subsidy because she believes that the distribution of resources must redound to the benefit of the majority of the citizens of this country. Rowley, on the other hand, believes, as he shouted at Rodney Charles, I am the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Don't tell me about nowhere else. Rowley believes that he is the czar, he is the dictator, he controls. And that money is his. He's the best salesman. He could do what he wants. He could put one man to spend $5 billion. His best friend and I saw him in a grocery with one big bag. Noel Garcia. Building airport, building hospital, building health center, building police station, fire station, community center, sports stadium, Red House, President's House, Rowley Prime Minister residence, and all the housing in Trinidad and Tobago. One man. And that man have a scathing judgment and indictment from a commission of inquiry in Las Alturas, and that's the man. And Rowley calling other people thief. And they tell you vote because Kamla want to give you a banana. And you all believe that nonsense. And now the pain cometh from all around. Because Rowley wants more recusals, more control. He took away your laptops. Why? Do you all really believe laptops are not good? Laptops are not useful? Do you all really believe that laptops are not good for children? Do you believe that the distribution of laptops eliminates or reduces the gap between the haves and the have-nots? Y'all don't believe that? Well, those are facts. So why did Rowley take away your laptops? His inside children and outside children have laptops. His grandchildren have laptops. The top SEA student, the very PNM, is giving the number one student a laptop. Kamla was giving every single SEA child 19,538. Everyone was getting a laptop. You see the difference in the philosophy? Because Kamla believes the money is for the people, the resources for the children, to save their lives, to fix the roads, to provide 74% 24/7 water supply, to ensure you don't have to pay higher electricity bills, to keep the fuel subsidies so you can drive, to keep Panda's cars, the foreign use cars, so poor people could afford to buy a car. The PNM says fire burn y'all. We are going to solve the traffic problem by getting poor people off the road. Because Coleman them want to mash the ass. And you voted for that. And you believe that. Because they told you something about if you are black, you have to vote PNM. What utter trite, what nonsense, what asininity. So you are telling me that if I am a black man, and a black man coughing me in my face and busting away my teeth every day, and I going by an Indian dentist to fix my lip and my gums, and the Indian dentist taking care of me and give me painkillers, Novocaine, and fixing my mouth, that I mustn't like the Indian, I mustn't vote for the Indian, I must go back by the black man to get our next cough in my teeth. That's what y'all are telling me? No, my people. All you had to be brighter than that. 218-7762. Hello, good evening. 218-7762. Hello, good evening. Try again. 218-7762. Hello, good evening.
So, Anil, good evening again. Yes. I am the person who called earlier on.
Yes, my brother.
And I'm happy for the answer that you gave. But, you know, we have a society that's at 9 hours, not even at 24 hours. And the discussions that you were privy to and Mrs. Kamla's response and so on and so forth, those were in-house. You happened to be part of these discussions and you knew and so on and so forth. But do you really feel that the hardcore PNM, and I want to be very specific here now, I'm not talking about the well-to-do hardcore PNM that would benefit from anything that the PNM does. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the uneducated, uninformed, mass hardcore PNM. Do you think that they know that?
No.
Or even can even process in their mind?
No, they don't. But let me help you. Let me tell you what. The PNM, even in 1986, when they lost 33-3, people thought that PNM voters, the masses, voted against PNM. They did not. PNM got 285,000 votes back then. But it was that the rest of the population united and did not fall for Eric Williams' previous from 1956, how you divide and rule and mash up the opposition and offer this one land, and when Lionel Sukaran unifying, give he something, let him split up, and Bade Sagan Maraj and so on. What happens is, when you unite with the opposition, you overcome that group and mass of PNM voter who does not care, does not understand. They clap when Rowley say they're taking away the laptops from their own children. You cannot change those. I am not here to talk to them. They will vote. I am talking to 45,000 intelligent people who don't like UNC and don't like PNM but want to vote for sense. So that's who I'm talking to. And when you convert those, you win 24 seats.
So granted, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But then how do you know, as a party, get that message out clear, not in the
again, mass of information that is necessary to be put out there.
Correct.
For the undecided voter to say, well, look, we go in this way or that way. But those very specific issues, which is the gas issue,
correct,
that as you and I know, affects every single thing.
Yes.
How do you transmit
that information? Well, here the
to
problem now, right? So you and all, and I'm doing it here, and you have to do it. Because here what we are fighting against. I don't know if you saw the Joint Select Committees, the two that went on when I grilled the
I
PLM.
did.
Now you saw how I showed Keith Rowley to be a total pathological liar concocting information. Mr. Shepard and Mr. Nanga looked like really neophytes trying to defend the indefensible, right? Whether it was the Salcott, the prices, the wrong prices, the electricity, the 7 Cs, all of that. Did you notice in the newspapers, the Daily, the Newsday, the Guardian, and the Express, they put not one story about that? You know what their stories were? Wassa going to deal with roads, and Wassa going to fix illegal connections. So they ignored the entire positive story. So we have a problem. The mass media is PNM. So we have to start here. We have to work harder. I have to give more information. Kamala have to talk more. We have to do more Monday Night Virtual. We have to do more social media. We have to do more press conferences. We have to go on talk shows. We have to get all the MPs out to go and talk and give the message and force it out, because the media in Trinidad and Tobago is the most corrupt entity, more corrupt than the PNM.
So let me offer this as a suggestion.
Yeah.
In the American system, for the elections and so on, it's part of their system to have debates and discussions between the potential whoever incumbents, right?
Yes.
Can the EFC party create a scenario that they will have an interview with Kamala Prasad and some noted, educated people in Trinidad who are not necessarily what you would call intellectually dishonest people,
right?
But intellectually same, who can say to any issue, make a comment on the issue. So Kamala says what you said was discussed in that private meeting or the cabinet meeting. Kamala says, "Well, this is my position,"
correct,
and then throw it out both to her as well as those persons who are there, and say, "What do you think of that? How do you feel about that?" So that the population, both educated, uneducated, mass, ignorant, and so on, listening to that discussion, will in their own minds say to themselves, "Well, I didn't know that, boy," because they will not then be blinded by the petty tribal foolishness. They will be able to hear an intelligent discussion going on between an intelligent moderator, an intelligent ex-prime minister, and an intelligent panel of people who will give answers or comments dispassionately based on facts and figures.
Fantastic
What do you think
idea.
about it?
Fantastic idea. It has begun with Kirk Mego and them doing. We did some on the procurement legislation and so on. But with the leader, Kamala, doing that, yes. It is difficult to find independent people. Even in the Senate, you have 9 senators and about 5 of them is pure PNM, debating better than the PNM. But I hear you, and that is a powerful way to get the message out. So they are listening now. Peter Kanai listening, the General Secretary, the Chief Whip, everybody in the UNC listening. I love that idea. It is a very good idea, and we need more ideas like that to get the message out, because the mass media is absolutely corrupt and it's sickening.
Yes, indeed.
Blessings,
Well, so I'll take the night for now.
But well said, and I agree with what you're saying. And we have to do anything to get the facts out, because if the facts were out, forget politics now. If you are just comparing 5 years and 7 months of Kamala versus 6 years of Rowley, whether on whatever you could call any topic, education, it's chalk and cheese. Exactly. So God bless. We'll try to get it out, but you are right. But we cannot, do not lose hope, because we are not trying to impact that group that don't listen and stick brick in the ears. what I am doing here and I fight every day for is those people who don't like Anil, don't like UNC, and don't like PNM, and they just love the country and they like to hear facts. And those people in 6 marginals can determine who will be the government.
But just one thing before I go.
Yes.
Don't ever underestimate the effect of Basil Pandey's education drive, Kamala taking up that mantle.
Pandey is the greatest.
No, what I'm saying is, you remember he started on the philosophy that the best way out of poverty is education.
Yes, he was
when
brilliant.
Kamala came into office, she carried that at another level.
Correct.
Now, what I'm saying is, Anil, the person who we would have once freely labeled as ignorant and not necessarily listening might be the very ones, because of the programs put in place by Basil Pandey and Kamala Prasad, might be the very ones who will now sit down quietly, sit down,
correct,
and evaluate the sense of what you are saying.
Well, that will be brilliant. So I hope you are right, that the younger ones will discern and will not hold up the cult that Dr. Williams, who was amazingly brilliant, created and perpetrated
I think
on this
there's
country.
a lot more people out there like that than we think.
Well, then that's good. So we have to just keep fighting and give out the facts.
And that's why, in the words of Bob Marley, if you have corn, throw it for the fowl, they will pick at it.
Correct. Blessings, my brother. Well said.
Good night.
Good night. 218. Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening. Make a call, please.
You want to make a call?
Yes, Mr. Roberts, yeah.
Yeah, you're on live. Good evening. Turn down the radio and just talk through the phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Yeah, Mr. Roberts, somebody told me that Marsha don't have any program on Friday night again.
No, she will. Right now, I have to take over the Friday because the Thursday night
So,
is
why asking that somebody told me that she going over to some other party or something?
No, what nonsense. No, Marsha ain't going nowhere. Let me just repeat. The Thursday nights, the United National Congress have something called TNT Speaks. It's going across the entire country to discuss local government, MPs, and so on. Last night, it was in Kamuto, Manzanilla. So
yes, sir, I watch that program.
Right. Well, normally on Thursday, I would talk on the radio on Thursday. As you know, douglAR radio began with me alone. But as a team, okay, stop and listen now. Stop. Listen to me. Listen carefully. Listening is a skill. And what I did was, in to build the team and to get different perspectives out there, I included Victor Roberts, who is doing a great job bringing facts. I also included Marsha, who's amazing and giving a female perspective and so on. But the TNT Speaks now came up on Thursday, and many people who listen to douglAR radio were upset with me because I was not on the radio at all for the week, or I was on only on Monday for an hour and 15 minutes. So, in order to please our people, I had to, unfortunately, take over the Friday slot. Marsha's gone absolutely nowhere. If we are looking for a place for her and to increase and include, she's on social media. She's a staunch United National Congress member, and she's gone nowhere. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, sir. Sir, what contribution I could make in with the UNC,
Where do you live, sir? Drive. Where do you live, sir?
I live in Trin City, sir.
Trin City. All right. Trin City, you will have to contact Mr. Peter Kanhai. Or in fact, go down to the Aranguez UNC office or to the Tunapuna UNC office. If you go to Tunapuna, ask for David Naked or anyone there. Give your information, sign up, your membership form and so on. And you will be informed of meetings, how you could help, walkabouts and so on. If you go to the Aranguez office, you could go to Councillor Amit Suknanan or anybody there, Jalen Rupnarayan. Give them your information, and we want all help. Anybody, ideas, policy positions, walkabouts, management, If you have some a little finances to buy some paper or stationery, any assistance, we are uniting now across Trinidad and Tobago to get rid of Keith Rowley. All right?
All right, thanks, sir. Thank you
God
very much.
bless. Thank you. And thank you for your support. 218-7762. 218-7762. And Suriname government, while Rowley take away all your subsidy, Suriname government to implement temporary fuel subsidy. Page 17, Guardian, Friday, April 8. Paramaribo, Suriname, April 7, CMC. Government will introduce a temporary subsidy discount on the price of diesel and unleaded gasoline to help cushion the blow of the increased fuel prices on the international market. That is in Suriname. So Suriname don't have no normal subsidy. But because of the pressures brought about by the global crisis because of Ukraine, Russia, Suriname does the opposite of Rowley. Suriname comes and puts in a temporary fuel subsidy to help its citizens. Rowley take away your own more. That's what you all vote for. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I just want to add this. Even Mayor Motley in Barbados to reduce the VAT on the gasoline.
Correct.
Just to add to what you're saying.
Correct. And thank you, my brother. And also in Guyana, they had flooding last year, and the government put in a seedling program and gave out seedlings to 742 farmers. Do you know that vegetable and fruit prices in Guyana have gone down in the last 6 months, while everything in Trinidad and Tobago has gone up because we have PNM? Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah.
I am a caller from Princeton. And I want to make a contribution, a suggestion. I've been a supporter of the party for years. But what I find in getting the message out, I find that the achievements of the UNC government has not been documented and then distributed. I find all the achievements of Kamala Prasad should be documented in all the areas, the different things that were done with roads, schools, all the achievements listed, documented, put in a manual or something and distributed in the society.
The problem with that is, while you are correct, I have it. Not only I have it in my brain that I say it, but I have it at home, and it consists of 2 manuals of 184 pages.
Okay.
So the expense of printing that and distributing it is overwhelming. But I hear you, so we'll have to do a summary. It's even to summarize it is very difficult. But I hear you and I agree with you because the achievements are tremendous, and it's in every ministry. Whether it's GATE, whether it's MIC centers, NESC centers, youth program, culture, sport, if it's in Fuad Khan in the hospital, the Ganga Singh with the water, roads across the board, sea bridge, investment, trade and industry, agriculture, it goes on and on. So you are correct, I agree with you, my brother. And the media don't help us.
What about paid advertisement, paid releases in the newspaper from time periodically?
Yeah, we don't have that kind of money. When you're in opposition, you just have to scrape 25 cents. One of them full-page ads cost 15. You see how the PNM just have all your money? When them advertising a thing, one of them full-color page, one page is $15,000, eh?
Because whenever there are meetings,
yes,
we will hear you enumerating all these achievements,
yes,
listing them and so on. But at election time, they are not remembered that they are not at the fingertips and the brains of the populace.
Yes, you are very correct. So we have to do that. It's a lot, but I will talk to Peter Kanai and Kirk Megu and some of the communication people, Lisha Dore, Karina Bechan and all of them, and maybe in the douglAR report and the checklist and so on. We will start to do a page each week and eventually after 52 weeks you might get the whole thing.
I feel that the representatives of each area, the parliamentary representative of each area,
yes,
could have their committee and work within the community,
correct,
to assist in at least expensive way in disseminating this information.
Well, each one of them has that document, so they are listening now. So we hear that suggestion. It's an excellent suggestion. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, sir.
God bless. That's a brilliant suggestion. And let me also give another suggestion, since we are dealing with suggestions. When they call you for a Zoom meeting, caller, just hold on 1 second, please, all right? Let me make this point and then I'll tell. When people who are angry that they didn't get what they want, politics must not be about yourself. So I must not, if Kamala call me tomorrow and say, well, she put in Corky in the Senate or she put in somebody in the Senate and it'll make way, then I make way calmly for the team. No sadness, no vexation, and I do my work for the party and for the team, because that's what it's about. That's what being in a team and believing in a philosophy and a leader and leadership and so on is about. It's not about yourself. You have a few people now trying to push different things to divide the opposition because they didn't get what they want. They didn't get to lead what they want, or they didn't get a seat that they want, or they didn't get to be an MP, or they didn't get to be a senator, or Kamala didn't tell them this, or they didn't get this job. What sort of abject, total, selfish, disgusting attitude is that? So to all my people who are listening, when you get a call to have a Zoom meeting on April 1st from people like Bo Tiwari or Vasant Bharat, just ignore them. Because they are motivated by themselves. Their whole philosophy is, I am angry because I am out. When I am in, I am happy. I love Kamala because I am in and I am an MP and I am here and I could put on a suit. I love Kamala. Kamala then says, well, no, thank you. Let's give John a try. I hate Kamala. Kamala not good. Kamala too lazy. Kamala not bright. Kamala. You all good? That inspires you? So let me just give you all a little suggestion. When Bo Tiwari try to call you, tell Bo Tiwari call Anil. Go and scratch and call Anil Roberts. Because Anil have plenty thing to tell you, Bo. You need makaram. And when Vasant, go, thank you for going and form your own party. I have a name for your party, Vasant. It's called Team 11. Because you ain't going to get more than 11 people in any constituency to meet with you. All right, Team 11? Good evening. Hello, my brother. Sorry about that.
No problem. I like you explain.
Thank you, my brother.
Right. Now, when you talking about that, that's going to never happen. You was in a political party already, the COP. And when you realize what them going on with it, them just want power, you come and join and you stay with Kamala.
Boy, you know that? You remember that? Hey, boy.
What do you mean?
Boy, Dukaran is the worst thing I ever see, you know? And if I had said that on May 23rd, 2010, I would have cuffed myself in my teeth.
So you had no fear about that at all. You demonstrate that you could see people for a long time.
Exactly.
When you see what that fella talk to them, you really care about that?
Them didn't care at all. Everything, you see me, I's a kind of dotish fella. I just really believe, if you tell me, my brother, we going in there and we going and try and help people, children, to get education so that they can have an opportunity to live, I believe you. But then when I go on in there, you only studying Lockjack, who's a billionaire, Yetming, who's a multi-hundred-millionaire, and Conrad, you only coming inside there to argue for rich. I said, but I didn't come here to help rich man.
I'm telling you.
No joke, you know.
But listen to me, man. When I see you make that move, I can really have insight. You could see people straight on, boy.
Boy.
Just like me. I just see them also come on and say, watch me.
But people buff me after. They say, but you didn't know that. I said, no. My mother teach me I have a kind of stupid kind of loyalty. I just believe you until I see you.
The ability to recognize people for what it is. Simple as that. Now, what I tell you is this. You talk about Suriname tonight, right? I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Right.
Them giving the people a little subsidy to ease it up a temporary.
Right. When Kamala come there, she opened up this economy, she gave everybody a job. Because every good economist knows circulation of your dollar is the success of your country.
Correct.
Why do you think Bad Jagdio calling all these people in Ghana to come down here and work? You think he want all our oil money to remain in our bank? He wanted to circulate, but he don't have the population.
Exactly.
And if he was to do that, Ghana get up like here. All the money in the bank, nobody here working and the money working in the bank. Like the only government in the world they know about this is this government, or they know and they don't care about
They
it.
know and they don't care. You see what you say there? That is it. They know very well. You feel Coleman but don't know. Coleman but know. But he don't care about all your boy. All his Gwen and Lagahu.
Because you see, that was William's philosophy. We have two oil beams, don't give them nothing. If you make it too easy for them, they ain't got no uses for me. So keep them reaching all the time.
But his daughter could have lent me money when it done.
You understand? Now I'll say this, you might not be telling you. The first good prime minister we had was George Chambers, yeah?
No, I
and
agree.
they like him, so they mash you up with donkey and all kind of things.
But I agree with you. George Chambers. George
Yeah, that
Chambers
was
was
the
a
prime
real
minister.
humble
First one.
man. Yes. And he loves his sport. He used to put on his sandals and go and watch netball and watch football in the savannah and thing.
But boy, I used to meet him by Hydro St. Augustine every Monday morning.
Yes, don't let them get tired. George Chambers. George,
Was a real good man.
let
He
me
was
tell you,
first economist.
the other thing that I could
They love the
guarantee
people.
you is that Keith Rowley is the worst prime minister in the history of the Commonwealth.
I'll tell you. But watch me. Just how Kamala they care for the people. Chambers know everything it belongs to the people.
Exactly, but Chambers suffer from Williams and them profligacy
they don't have the bottom all the time.
from 69 to 80.
So when
Williams,
he get there now, certain elements in this country.
but he didn't know, he couldn't have do nothing because it had nothing, just like what Rowley and them doing now.
But all he could have do at the time, boy, Anil,
What's
the
Wall
little
Street?
time you know he will last, free up the country and give everybody a job, free trade zone, everybody had money to spend.
Correct.
The elements in the country, them don't want that.
But Rowley and them doing that now, do you understand? We are not time to play games with no bow and no vasan. Even with all of our brains put together in the UNC, this country go take a lot of brain work and all people on deck to fix it, you know. Them mashing it up at every level like chili
Yeah, but
baby.
watch me. The thing about it is, Anil, Kamala have the knowledge to bring back this country.
So when Bo call you for a Zoom meeting, where you go tell him?
Ah, boy, them can't call me. I know he's a little boy. He could call me. We make a joke.
Tell him call you and tell him, Anil said to call him.
But I might tell them more son.
Yeah, them the Makaram and them. Everything good when Kamala have you in a seat. But as soon as you don't get a seat, Kamala is the worst. Them is the most selfish clown. Yeah, give me a joke, man.
Right. When I was young growing up, I have two brothers beside me, right? All of you are alive.
Yeah.
My last brother, my father tell him put on the hose. The hose was about 25 or 30 feet long to water the grass. He didn't have a nozzle, so he put on the hose and he waited. So after that water, I told my father, said, people inside and see what's going on. As soon as he put the high water on, I hit him in the face. I said, why you doing that? I said, he was learning practical.
Yes.
Theory, without practical,
Without
ain't no good.
practical, ain't no good. I like that.
And when I hear Gonzalo not use the night, I move on from there one time.
Boy.
And I come and sit down listening to you on the program.
Boy.
Everything for that fella is theory.
Well, the man now learn the theory that if pressure coming out of a pipe, that the water wouldn't go up the hill. He
You
now
understand
learned
what
that.
I'm saying? So he tell my little brother after he say, listen, son, when you put on the pipe, you have got some water coming one time. He say, yes. He said, because it's always there.
Yeah.
But it must take time to come through the hose.
Correct.
Right? So Gonzales, well, I can't tell you what I want to tell you, boy.
Don't tell me. Wait till I see you and you sing your kaiso for me.
Yeah. All right.
All right, my brother. Blessings. 218-7762. Hello. Good evening. Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Good evening, Mr. Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, man, I'm not man, Rowley take Anil Roberts panties and push it.
Oh Lord. Boys, go and drink your punching and cool yourself. Rowley and deal with our panty. Rowley deal with other panties. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, good evening. Let Mr. Gonzalez know that anybody want water throughout Trinidad and Tobago, let it come clean out when you don't make it sour. Water fountain here since about a couple months now, and nobody reporting it, and they not coming. They say they will come, and they never come.
Correct. Well, Don Miguel Road, 3,160 leak. Nanga, who get 5 million in brief, telling me the Joint Select Committee, them going and fix leak. And he calling about historical leak. All you ever know, please explain to me, Cocky, what is a historical leak? Yeah. Turn on your mic. What is a historical leak?
Historically, for me, sound like in the past, in history.
Yeah, but if it leaking now, how it historical? If it leaking like in Don Miguel Road months, for months, but it's still leaking, how that historical? That's a present day leak.
Right, but
he started to tell me about historical leak.
Because they answer me that, so that
Hey, PNM is the greatest bag of nonsense. Eh? Hello, good evening.
Doubles and coffee.
What's happening, my brother?
Listen to me. The Minister of Man, I ain't think he bright, you know. He said they harvesting rainwater.
Yes, they harvesting rainwater.
He don't know that is a proven technology in the countryside in Trinidad and Tobago. When rain fall and the people that have the tank under the side of the house catching water.
Exactly. But on top of that, but not only that, he going to spend 7 million to harvest rainwater and then pump it through a leaking network to pelt it away. So he's spending 7 million to throw away water under the ground.
Nobody, but he so notice he have a PR and people taking out camera.
Yes.
You know nothing about water and if it a leak and pressure. So poor fella, he passed common entrance.
He didn't. Well, he couldn't even pass the bathroom spot when his wife opened the bathroom door. Later. When his wife catch him in the bathroom. Yeah? Let him talk. Minister man, Lord have mercy. He see a man in a van driving at 60 kilometers per hour. And he's so close to the man that he know the man not supposed to be driving the van and gone to Wassa to complain about the man. And when they investigate the man, they say he did nothing wrong. He gone to try to tell the man to change the investigation because the man need to get suspended. You ever hear more nonsense? Let me take a little break and when we come back, we gonna wrap up this show, boy. Cocky, where you going? You're typing something, automation, you're looking good, I catch you off guard. Watch all of that, Cocky. Aye. That's what you call bad timing by me. But I catch my boy, but Cocky moving into gear now. And he going great. Royal Castle, there we go.
This season of Lent, get more options from Royal Castle with their 3 tasty meal specials. Meals made with the freshest fish, seasoned with the castle's appetizing Trini ingredients and cooked to golden perfection. Choose from the fish combo, 2 succulent pieces of fish, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or the fish sandwich combo of a tender, tasty sandwich, 1 side and a 16-ounce soft drink, or even a flavorful veggie combo option of a sandwich, a side and a 16-ounce soft drink. Get more options from Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste for Lent.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in. Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica. The Grand Coulant Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. The Grand Coulant Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Join me, Anthony Jules, on Late Nights with Jules, only on MCTV. New guests every week, activity, games, hot topics, a lot of discussions. You don't want to miss it. Tune in and join me only on MCTV. 9 p.m. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Calling every human.
It's time to make your community better than before. Join yours truly, Kieran Joseph Samaru, on Your Community. We'll be discussing the important issues with the important people in the place most important to you, your community. Join us every Tuesday at 9 p.m. right here on MCTV as we know and make your community better than before.
Hi, this is Michael Rutlal, attorney at law. I'm inviting you to join me every Thursday at 5 p.m. on MCTV for the Social Contract. It's a new show where we will be discussing bills that are being debated in Parliament, topical legal issues and recent decisions of our courts, and where we'll be giving general legal advice on issues that affect you, the public. I encourage all of you to continue looking at MCTV, bringing you back to where you belong.
In this month, close to 2 billion Muslims worldwide observe Ramadan, their most holy and beloved month, yet most difficult. 30 days of fasting from food and drink and praying build mental fortitude and closeness to Allah. There is a lesson in their sacrifice, discipline, and faith, a motivation to us all to be resilient and look forward to a brighter day. Just as the hunger of Ramadan ends with the joys of Eid, it is our prayer that the power of this holy month inspire humanity to awaken, to remember God, and to make this world a better place. Ramadan Mubarak to our Islamic community and our nation from your Royal Castle.
The people them fed up. And welcome back to douglAR Radio Live on U97.5 FM. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We have a new name for our boy.
What's the new name?
No, man. Is that you? What is the kind of fancy man?
Hold on. Only how to get the douglAR travel on the U97.5 hot like pepper. You know, Corky and I was just talking.
Yes.
And Corky asking me, but Anil, what is wrong with Bo and Vassant and them? And I said, what, Corky? He said, but Bo wasn't here at MCTV. I said, yes. It had a brighter morning with Bo and then they turn off the bulb. Yeah. You understand? Hello, good evening. But I was explaining, caller, hold on 1 second. I was just explaining to Corky that Bo and Vassant are only about themselves. So they ain't get, so them in politics to have a position. So if they don't have a position or they don't have a seat or they don't get exactly what they want to mash up and come around and try to get, no, you start bad, you start wrong. And I explained to Corky that Kamla Prasad Bisesa was not handed anything, you know. Kamla Prasad Bisesa took on and beat the baddest politician, the best politician in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, Bastille Pandey. So if all you come up against Kamla and get curtailed, what you all feel politics is? A charity? You get licks, go your way. Good evening.
Good evening, Anil.
Good evening.
So you just talk about water and you get me mad.
Oh Lord, where you living? What going on? Where the leak?
I from Freeport.
Right.
Hi, and I will tell you something again. I a 1 foot collar and I has always been in the pushback 4.
Right.
Right. You have a big dam in Arena.
Mm-hmm.
According to researcher, one is 17,000 acres of land. You're catching clean water. I don't know if you ever went by that dam already.
Yes, I went in it and I tried to fish in it too. I guess I'm big.
And that water,
yeah.
that water crystal clear.
Correct.
Right? And after you catch that water, you keep it there and you're opening it to come down in the river to reach Piaco. There is any sense? Boy, the PNM, they have no sense. They don't, the engineers, the architect, the minister, the prime minister, none of them, no sense. No you ever went by the treatment plant in Piaco?
Yes.
You ever happen to see one of the settling pond low down?
Yes.
What did you see?
I saw something leaking out, going somewhere. I wasn't sure where it was going.
All right, what I'm talking about, when the pond go down low down,
it's dirt.
It's dirt, and that place is cast place, you know. That place cast with concrete, you know.
Yes.
I worked there when they was building it. I went there after. They had to use excavator and drag line and thing to clean out that place, boy.
On top of all that you talking, which is supply, when they try to pump the water to you and me, 55% of the water does get pelt away.
Well, this is the thing, Anil. The thing is this.
And they do nothing to fix it.
They want to build new, what you say, harvesting.
Harvesting
all
rainwater.
All they have to do, Anil, pipe the water from Arena to Piaco, and the water would come in there clean. 75% of the chemical they're using in that water, they won't have to use it. But they had to use the chemical because the 1% wouldn't make no money.
Well said, thank you, my brother. God bless. Let me tell you something. We cannot be in this mess, the entire country falling apart, just by guess, you know. It takes masterful stupidity to make a country be so backward in every aspect of life, you know. You couldn't, if you just left this country in September 2015 on automatic pilot, so if you had a referendum and say, well, we don't want no government, and you just leave the country on automatic pilot, the country would have run smoother and sweeter than what this Rowley did. Good evening. I don't even have words to describe the stupidity of Rowley and his cabinet. Good evening.
Anil, good afternoon.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, Anil, the song Rowley sang, Somebody Touch My Soul. I have a different version of that. I would say Somebody Touch Our Soul.
Oh Lord, goodbye. Don't play with people's spiritual hymn. But Rowley didn't sing that. Rowley bad talk it. One of the DJs gone and they Corky, put on your mic. They gone and what do you do? They what you just call it?
He remix it, man.
Yes, he remix it and he put a rhythm, but not only that, he changed up Rowley voice from being out of tune.
Yes,
and
he
put in thing and make it sound good.
Yes.
And Rowley pretend like that he's singing, you know. When you listen to the live, the man singing next to the note. Yes, the fella auto-tuned the voice and thing with the computer.
He did a good job. I think it's DJ Kai.
Yes, DJ Kai. Nice rhythm, nice tune and thing. You know Rowley boasting like he sing that? And say, well, check me in the Savannah next year. He auto-tuned this. Rowley's so pathological. Boy, Rowley, go and listen to the live tape, boy. You song like you had banana stick in your K-Packs. You song. Boy. That man. Rowley take the man, auto-tune the thing.
Yeah.
Take it from next to the note and make it song good with computer thing.
Yeah.
And Rowley say, look how good I sung. You heard, see that? This man sick, you know. Yeah. Rowley really sick all wrong. That man want to take credit for editing thing, you know. Yeah. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Anil.
Oh, yes, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Corky, and to everybody out there. Anil, what is going on in this country, my boy?
Please
Elections have consequences.
Correct.
You understand? But they do that, Anil, with this. It's good for them. I'm not sorry, you know, Anil. It's good because they wouldn't get their lazy tails out and hit the streets. No, they wouldn't do that. They waited for when Kamala doing, when Kamala coming out, when Kamala marching. You understand? And look what it is. They come now and raise the price of this thing again. Let them take it now. Let them sit down and take it. Don't get up. Don't get up and only study all who not getting up and who not getting up. Right? And I heard you talking about this thing with Botiwari. You know, he really disappointed me, Anil. That man really. You see that letter that he wrote today in the Guardian? I gave him a good piece of my mind on the on the chat. And the next one who jumped in talking about Bim and Bam is Gideon Hanuman Singh. Right? So I had to ask him, I said things were so bad with you, why didn't you leave? Nobody forced you to stay there. All you were drinking and eating at the trough. And suddenly now, the woman bad? The woman give all the good positions and look at how all they treating this lady now. But putting up billboards and bad talking and having secret meetings and whispering behind her back, is that going to solve problems?
But you have it all correct, except the meetings only have 11 people, of which I just sent 5. They had a Zoom meeting April 1st. 5 of my people log on and it had 11. Oh God, I tell Bo the only good thing that Bo is when a beautiful lady have a slight bow in her high heel and she dress up looking elegant. Other than that, a bow is useless.
I mean, Anil, you don't see PNM people doing that to Rowley as bad as Rowley is. You're not hearing them saying. So
But not only that.
I don't know if it was you who had asked or somebody else had asked a question. So if Vasant win the internal, will he tell Rowley, step aside and let me run the country? Is he going to do that? But I want to tell Vasant something here tonight. I hear the PNM internals coming up soon. Apply now.
Well, exactly.
You might have more luck in Balize House than in UNC. Because nobody in the UNC wants you again for bad talking the leader.
But don't worry, he form a party. I just name it for him.
Yes.
It's called Team 11. He can't get more than 11 people in a meeting. Let Vasant, let me tell you something. The United National Congress, my dear, is a political party. If you would like to lead the United National Congress, you must put out your manifesto, take on the leader, and go at it. And if you win, God bless you, you are the leader. What you want, what you feel it is a charity? You can't beat Kamala, she beat you by 15,000 votes. You get curtailed 3 times. She must just give you a hot dog with ketchup. Look, let Vasant and Bo go and hug up each other and give me a chance.
Exactly. I mean, Anil, look at what it is going on in the country. Look at the situation that Keith Rowley has in. And instead of uniting, this is what all you're doing?
Correct.
Oh, jeez, man. Thanks a lot, Anil. And have a good night.
Them like an old Bartex. No support. You understand? 2-1. You like that one, eh? Bo and Vasant, like 2 old Bartex. You know them old Bartex when you wear it for about 12 years, it a hole all around the elastic stretch out. The elastic had no more stretch. You understand? You had to tie a knot in it if you jump in the river or else it come down. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Bo and Vasant, they are against the people of the country if they keep on doing that, eh? They're very ungrateful. They're makaram. They should go and poison themselves. They're against the people.
But they should politically poison themselves, yes. Politically. But that is true. Because they are only for themselves. Politics cannot be that if I don't get a position, I don't like the leader. What nonsense all you tell me about? Really and truly? Okay, so that's my philosophy. Right? I didn't get a position. I going to form a party. Who going to survive? Who going to support that? Hello, good evening.
I think it is right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wait, hello, I didn't hear you. Oh, Lord. I didn't hear him. I hope the people heard him. You understand what I'm saying? When you want to lead something, you must have a philosophy. You must have done something. You must be inspirational. You must help people. People kind of come to you because of your work, the fruits of your labor. You must inspire people to join you. You form a party because you ain't get a work what that you want? What kind of nonsense are you telling me? Good evening. Hello.
Anil, you cut me off just on Freeport. Hear what happened?
Yes.
Why did us call a layer the ex-layer?
Mm-hmm.
You could answer the question?
No, I don't know.
Because it can't lay again, and that's what happened with Barrett, Vasant and all of them.
Them is ex-layers. But they never lay. Botiwari, next to Dukaran, Botiwari is the biggest waste of oxygen in the history of politics. I sit down in a cabinet with that man. That man will talk for 22 minutes and I say nothing, you know. That man is just talk like he reading from a textbook. One waste of time. Botiwari. Look, all you give me a chance. Don't let me waste time with you.
Let me tell
He's
you
an
something.
ex-layer. He's never been a layer.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I live in behind where the constituency officer Botiwari was. If I felt that stone, I felt in over the office. And Bo never come and look for we and do nothing.
Exactly.
Not a thing.
But he wants
Not a
seat.
thing.
Tell you go and scratch, yeah?
A constituent bring a box, and you know that brochure with his print?
Yes.
And give me to share it out. When I take out the first one and I read it, Bo do 150 feet of road. And next one, if he put, he do a trace they call Parabatia trace, they do box drain, he do all kind of thing. When I pass in the road, because when I see them kind of thing, I going to see what they do.
Yes.
It look like the box wash out for the drain.
Boys are total ways. Exactly. Thank you, my brother. God bless.
You know what I do?
Yeah,
I drive behind the heliport in the Carney cane and I throw the whole box thing there. I don't want to see that and I ain't wasting my time to give nobody that.
But don't litter next. Carry it and let it burn in a crematorium or something.
Well, that done gone
because
already.
he politically dead. All right, my brother. Thank you. Yes, we don't want to pollute the beautiful surroundings and the environment of Trinidad and Tobago, but you can take it to an open pyre fire, make one for Bo and Vassant because they're politically dead, and float it down the Caroni. Let it burn. Burn it up. Let it go up into the air. Turn the oxygen into carbon dioxide. Bo, why you don't come and hold a meeting in St. Joseph? Come now. Come and hold a meeting in St. Joseph now, Bo, and you're bad? That when I tell them what you do down in the CDA, you go learn. Keep talking. Hello, good evening.
Call you back there, so boy. This won't call you back.
Oh,
it
no.
want to talk to
It
you.
want to talk to me? Well, talk, man. Yeah. Yes, man.
Hear what happened? I want you to tell your partner that on the ground report that in 2010, all you had a partnership and all you had was some mash up. So let it watch the rest of partner and them they teaming up with because they go get mash up too.
All right, my brother. Blessings. Let me tell you all this, as he said that, if you all don't even understand the brilliance of Kamala Prasad Bisasa to hold that partnership that all you talk about there, which was no partnership. It had people like Bo, Dukaran. It had people in that, like, what's that MSJ man? I forget his name, boy. He's such a non-entity. What is in MSJ, man? I get old. Anyway, all you know what I'm talking about. Waste of time. You had the COP, Dukaran, and Boti Wari, and Lincoln Myers. All you, not Lincoln Myers. Lincoln Myers was a great man. What is that Myers man name? Robert Myers, deputy political leader of the COP, by talking the government that he was part of every minute. Now all you hear him talk anything for 5 years because PNM put him on a TSTT board. Robert smoked cigarette, Myers talk and cough. That clung. That is what Kamala had to deal with, and she still hold our partnership together because the TOP was brilliant and NJAC was brilliant, and they worked together as a team. COP and MSJ, all you could unite with that. You could even unite to make doubles. Them will spoil the channel. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening, Senator.
How you going?
Hi there, Senator. You know, Ramesh Form 1.
Team Unity.
Team Unity.
Yeah.
Dukaran Form 2.
Yes.
And Karnasi Prasad Form 3. And Form 4 was Philip something in Bigger Martin. And Form 5, you know who is all in Cuba today, right? But you know, all of them forming. Just imagine, I want the nation to know that Vassant in the PNM refused him because he stick up a gypsy.
Yes. Imagine the PNM. Yes, the PNM refused Vassant. Good point. Imagine that. The PNM that rotten to the core. The PNM that have the most intellectual misfits in the history of politics reject Vassant. And Vassant want to lead who? He want to lead we into the labas. Look, Vassant. Look.
You know why he wants leadership? Because they put all them chicken when he hatch it. He had to put it somewhere. And he might get cheaper chicken.
Later.
Yeah.
Have a good evening. All right. This time went fast, but last call. Hello. Good evening.
Hey, Anil.
Boy, use the last.
Bishop son is Abdullah boy.
Abdullah boy, yes. Hey, you know that man. Kamala used to have a meeting of all the parties and the executive and thing like once every three weeks or so in the palace. It used to have about 150 people and thing.
Right.
And Munilal used to chair the meeting.
Right.
A caucus like. So when we talk there and thing, we talk and we trash out thing and so on. That man, Abdullah, never open me mouth. He sit down there, anything, in his suit and whatever. And next day when I watching news, I see he bad talking, we in the government and so on. So in the next meeting, 3 weeks later, Munilal was about to open the floor and I said, Chairman, wait. Chairman, I said, Chairman, before you start any meeting here, I stand up. I say, I want to ask that man, David Abdullah, if he have any problems, if he find anything with the government, let him talk here now. So I don't have to go and listen to it on CNC3 because he don't say a word here, sit down here like a coward chicken with pip, and then he don't say nothing. I have to go and watch it on TV. I say, he either in the government or you're out the government.
That fella's coming there, snake boy.
Yes, and Munilal say, well, Mr. Abdullah, do you have anything to say? Well, not at this time, Chairman. I say exactly. I say exactly.
That coverage on the television.
Yes, because the media want to try to make couture and put the PNM back.
What's Miller?
Abdullah.
I say let come in St. Joseph and keep meeting.
Yes, let him come.
Come in Curep, reborn and grow up.
Yes, come in Curep. I go meet you in Curep, Bo. Thank you, my brother.
Brother.
Blessings, douglAR Radio.
Right.
You could stay on with Corky D. This is U97.5 FM, douglAR Radio. Signing off. Have a wonderful weekend. And to all the Muslim community, Ramadan Mubarak. Good night.